let's jump into what it takes to understand men. Men are simple. We are straightforward creatures. What does that mean? It's not stupid. That's not dumb. We're human beings, the other side of the coin, just as complex. However, because masculine men operate in the world of men, left brain, logical, pragmatic, straightforward, direct. What that means is it's easy. All the complications of the feminine experience, the feminine emotion, all the things that you may deal with other feminine women in your life, all those complications, that's the complexities. You don't need to worry about that with men. It is either going to be what they say or what they do. And again, your first qualification, are they a man? So boys, it can be a bit more complicated because they may look like a man, come in the package, right? They may have been here on this earth 50, 60 years. That does not mean that they are a man. But once you vet and qualify for man, a grounded masculine man is logical and pragmatic, straightforward, direct, and efficient. What does this mean? Really great. Masculine energy answers the question, who am I? It's that grounded rock, the swirl of everything going around in life, chaos, right? Unpredictability, the whole range and spectrum, the feminine, the contrast. That's why it's a dance. The grounded masculine rock deals with all of it and says, this is who I am. I'm a man who thrives. I'm a man who succeeds. I'm a man who owns the space for the feminine in my life. All these conditions. So you can clearly, if not by his words, by his actions. And so that gives you even more precise measurement, right? So you think you're dealing with a man. Is he a good man? Is he the right man for you? If he says something, does he show up as that? That's the quickest way to disqualify and understand if you're dealing, what kind of a man you're dealing with. Because boys, men who are aimless, wandering, haven't figured their shit out, gotten themselves together, who they say they are does not line up with who they actually are, which is in their actions. So that logical, direct, what does that mean? A man, grounded masculine man, logical and direct, he's going to show his interests and he's going to go for what he wants. There's no responsibility or pressure for feminine energy. You make the invitation, you make yourself open and available. Maybe that means getting on the apps. Maybe that means going to the environment, what do I call it? Prospect rich environment. Maybe you're at the library, maybe you're at the club, maybe you're at the coffee shop, whatever it is for your life, right? Maybe it's at work sometimes. But the whole context is you make yourself open and the straightforward, direct, logical, pragmatic, masculine energy catches the eye. Invitation, give a glance. You know the game. Come on now. You ain't new to it. But when you make that opening, a grounded masculine man, beeline, straight shot, what do I want, going for it, locked on a prize, that's what that is. If that energy, if that presence isn't coming, isn't known, it might not be the man. You don't have to do anything different. Just in your way of being, sit back, reserve. Don't open up so much because he hasn't shown, he hasn't proven, he hasn't shown not only the interest, because the interest means he's interested in you, meaning he sees your value. And when a man sees something he wants, he will go forward. That's how you qualify. It's just that simple. Is a man showing up? You're caught up in conversations where you're taking on the pressure, where you're so uneased, understandably so. Clock is ticking. You want to make sure to capitalize on the value that you have in the market, and you ain't got time to waste. Are these boys out here playing games? What are we? What's going on? What are we doing? And at the point that you can clearly get in communication with a man that you are entertaining, that you are auditioning, that is a prospect, he's going to show his interest. He's going to show his cards. If he sees value in you, if he's interested in you, he's going to go for what he wants. If that's not showing up, he's already made it clear. And here's what I'll give you as a kicker. Be to yourself. Reserve that feminine energy, that vote, that attention, that intimacy. Don't give it to him. What's he going to do? Show up or show his true colors. If he sees your value, he'll bridge the gap. Take a step back. He's going to go for what he wants until you at least directly shoot him down. So be clear. Like I said, you're not doing anything. So with no actual words of, yo, get lost, not interested, not feeling it. And sometimes they will still try again. But if you haven't given that and he's not approaching, he's not making the effort, he's not making it clear, he's not letting, I want to take you out. I want to be with you. I want you to be my woman. I want you to be my wife. If that's not his communication, not his language, if he's not painting the future, the vision behind his masculine leadership, who am I? Me and mine is living life like this. And I see you right there at my side along with it. If he can't be that clear. And maybe he doesn't know it's you, but he knows that's what he wants. That's what a man has no problem sharing. What's my vision for life? What do I believe in? What are my values? I can communicate that. And my words coming out of my mouth line up with the actions that I am willing to demonstrate. Now you know you're dealing with a man. I am Dwayne Langham, Masculinity Architect. This is Building the Architect, teaching you the tools to be the architect in your life, to build the future that you want. Before we do that, I want you to make sure, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you like the topic, trust me, it's going to be juicy enough, but hit the like button, subscribe. Also, if you want to dive into my work, if you want to have more understanding, what is a masculinity architect? Saw this guy online, Dwayne Langham, talking about divine energy, divine masculine and feminine. What is it all? Does it make sense, especially with all that gender war nonsense out there? If you want some clarity, go ahead and pick up my book, absolutely free, The Dance. It is a deep dive into the work I do, understanding these masculine and feminine energies at play with everything. Whether you understand it or not, whether you read this book or not, it is at play in your life right now. So why not have the tools and understand exactly what is controlling the results that you're getting? Because as soon as you can get that information, just make some tweaks and changes. I promise you, it works so fast. This divine feminine, the power, ladies, the power that you most naturally have been gifted with. Feminine intuition, it's a powerful thing. I want to help you get tapped into that. What do men value? Men value femininity. Now, there's been a lot of some confusion about what femininity is. Is it the way you dress? Is it the clothes you wear? Is it the way you talk? Is it your mannerisms? How you touch, move? It's all of that in a nutshell. And femininity is the energy. It is unseen, meaning that you cannot just put lipstick on a pig. Do you get what I'm saying? You actually have to embody femininity. Notice everything I've been talking about. I ain't said nothing about get your little black dress out. I ain't said nothing about get the lipstick. Those are all in the wheelhouse. But what is truly important, what is truly going to demonstrate your femininity, yes, your expression, your appearance, your flair, your style, those are feminine traits and indicators. But truly, femininity is the softness, soft energy in your words, in your voice, in your tone, in your mannerisms, in your communication. It is not what you say, it is how you say it. And if your energy is too similar, code switching, if your energy is too similar to how you drive at work, how you drive to get your accomplishments in your career, how you drive with raising your children, whatever that scenario is, you know that you've got to put on your masculine and do things a different way. Well, if you're going to attract masculine, you got to put your masculine down. You got to take that mask off and flow in your femininity, relax, be open, be warm, be inviting and welcoming, and you'll get that attention. But all of these things combined, let alone the actual skills and traits, let alone the soft nurturing to cook and prep a meal, to create a home environment, the warm aesthetic and the feel, the vibes, the energy, to give a massage, to sense when someone is tense, pressured. He thrives on showing up to lead. He thrives on being seen and appreciated. A little secret, right? Feminine energy multiplies. So when you show up and give that attention, when you show up and believe in him, edify him, big him up, tell him all the things that he can do and accomplish, and best believe if he's a masculine man, it's reciprocated. He acknowledges, values, and pours into you as well. The feminine multiplies. See, he does that because that's what's in his character. He's owning the space. You do it because you multiply. You give the gentle whispers that he can do it. You see who he is as a man, his character. You acknowledge him. You big him up because, again, remember where we started. Men start from nothing. Men have to build themselves up to qualify, to gain access, to get the experience, to become valuable on the dating market. Men aren't giving shit. So when you give them the attention, you are multiplying You're pouring into them in a way that has them expand, get bigger, feel better, feel seen. You give your vote into their values, their intelligence, their resourcefulness, all of it. Those skills and traits make a difference. Primitively, antiquated, it said, fuck them, feed them, shut the fuck up. Again, primitive, antiquated. But if you look at the core of that, nourish him, feed him spiritually, supporting his vision, like passing that blessing and multiplying of your feminine energy, that the seeds he's out to work, the mustard seeds to build mountains one day of a legacy, that you nourish and support, that you feed into him. Yes, if you can make a plate. Yes, if you can big him up. All of it is the same thing. Intimacy, sex, like I said earlier, men, masculine, we have a sexual drive. We have infinite seed. It's always building all of our lives. It's completely different, equal, but not the same. And on that side of the game, we have a sex drive. Masculine is driven to spread its seed, to leave a legacy, because those genes need to survive. No different than you want that big, bad masculine that has strong genes. Those strong genes want good feminine to complement, multiply, so that it can produce for the future. And lastly, shut the fuck up. Again, primitive, antiquated. What that is peace. When you can be peace for a man, when he does all the work, providing, protecting, cherishing, when he does all the leading in the home with the children, in the relationship, the communication, the respect, the love, when he shows up and does all that there is to do so that you can take your hand off the wheel, so that you can relax and enjoy that feminine exhale, to give that man peace. That's what he needs. He needs to be nourished. He needs the intimacy. In the world of masculine, it is hard. It is dog eat dog. No different than you. You've experienced it. Well, there's generational trauma from, yes, a patriarchal society that has valued the hard work and effort of men and masculinity. And on top of that, there's the blood, sweat, and tears of generations that have psychologically had to deal with being the cannon fodder for the survival of the village, the tribe, the legacy, the clan. Whatever society exists has been built on the backs, on the deaths, literally, of men, whether it is building up the infrastructure, falling to their death from skyscrapers, or going to war on the battlefield for all of existence. This is what it is required. So inside of such a hard, worldly, harsh energy, that is why masculine is the bigger, badder, stronger. Human existence isn't an easy thing. And the conditioning that masculine has had to endure to deal with that has left men, grown masculine men, who are very conditioned for it, to do it and perform. It's part of it. They thrive in it. We thrive in it. If we can come home to rest, if we can be rewarded by the village, by the tribe, by the family, by the woman, by the partner and companion that we do it all for, if we can come home to have peace, to be treated, to be nurtured, taken care of, not babying, mothering, taken care of, but to enjoy the peace of kicking our feet up, to be served, catered to. Oh, you'll melting in your hands. He will do anything. He will give you the world, because that is all he needs, is a place to rest. He'll do all the work because that's his form of the feminine exhale. His feminine actually gets to exhale. What is life? You've done good. You've done the work. What is life when you do a good job and you've got a good feminine partner? Well, I can kick my feet up. I'm seen and appreciated. I'm working hard, but it's a good reason. Let me recharge to get back out there and do it again. That I wanted to break out, how you can keep a man, really. Once you identify this is a man, he's qualified, and you know who he is and what he's about, how you keep him, peace, femininity. That's what he needs. Last thing, ladies, that will help you understand a grounded masculine man is he values purity and loyalty. I touched on this earlier, right? If you're out there having your fun, you're doing what you do, building up your life experience, your empire, your legacy, whatever you're doing in your masculine, it's perfectly fine. If you're having fun with the boy toys, cool. However, purity and loyalty become a factor, because what you do today, what you did yesterday, I know it's hard to grapple with, However, because of how the game works, because of how masculinity works, that has an impact. That may disqualify you from the man that you want. Now, I'm not saying honestly, it is fair because it's a market. It's all value. So if you do things that devalue you, you can't expect to get the same caliber man that you would potentially get. What am I talking about when I talk about purity and loyalty? So purity is on many facets. Most people hear and right off the bat, yes, body count, sex, that's all there. That's all factual. And this is, let's take away the stigma because it is to both parties, men and women. And, right, for no human being is it of benefit to be putting up real numbers and shit. Just being honest with you, beyond the insecurities, beyond the validation, beyond the experience to find out what it is that you like, right? Fair is fair. Men and women, those are all valid factors. And the emotional, the energetic exchange, if it does not have maturity and responsibility, that sexual energy, that exchange of intimacy is leaving its mark on you. Whether it's just the trauma, the experience, the picking up to be dropped down, the used and abused, the mistakes, you know what they are. They have an impact. And now here's the other part of the purity to go deeper. And what I was talking about, to the biological element, man of masculinity. This is information that's out there. It's common. I don't like to spit these facts. They tend to be a bit red pill. They tend to be a bit insecure, things that people use as excuses. However, there is data. There is factual evidence behind it that is valid to take into consideration. And again, I feel a larger conversation is for men or women. It is still different. It's not the same. However, say if every 10 bodies makes a difference for a woman, every 100 bodies may make a difference for a man. That's not the calculated factual data I might break down, but the context is it works for both sides. A hoe is a hoe. It's no better for either side. However, for men, for masculinity, for a masculine seed, a man can impregnate infinite number of women in the same time frame that a woman can get pregnant once. That's the flip side. So with that, biologically, men are genetically ingrained over evolution or forever that we need to know purity and loyalty, improving, increasing, guaranteeing the chances that this is my seed, that this is my legacy. We tend to have our human judgments. We tend to look at what's fair and what's not fair. Go out in nature. What happens when a new alpha takes over the pack, the tribe? Everybody gotta go. All the kids is gone, slaughtered, right? It's the animal kingdom. Those genes and genetic makeup, again, masculine has been sacrificed, the cannon fodder to die, blood, sweat, and tears when we go to war. The women and children stay around and go on to the next tribe and village that have taken over. But the men who died, it's that same energy that masculine grounded man, you got to understand it. It's not how you feel about it. What do they value? That grounded masculine man wants to know the purity, the loyalty. He can trust that you are his partner, that is his seed, that you have not had so much exposure, so much experience, that you are no longer able to be loyal, that you are no longer having the feelings and understanding. Because as a human being, you can certainly understand the difference when you've had one partner to the difference when you've had 10 partners. You now know what you like. You now know ups and downs. You now got some baggage and trauma from what 7, 8, 9 left you with. So when you meet number 10, that stuff is still sticking around and showing up. Masculine man does not want to deal with that. Masculine man wants the purity and loyalty. Another element of the purity, taking the sex off the table, the purity, the lack of experience, the innocence of doing a bunch of things. Now, this is purely ego, and I said I was going to put you hip to game on the male ego. Masculine wants to provide you with the experience. Masculine wants to take you abroad. Masculine wants to show you new things, first things. Why? Because you multiply him. Your grounded masculine man has got to appreciate that you've never had this experience, so you see him as being able to provide it. It's all cyclical. He gets to enjoy that I've provided this for you, that I've brought this to you. I feel better about myself. Again, it's not about you. If you want to get a masculine man, I know it may not be fair. Them's the breaks. This is the game. You had your value at 18, 20. By the time he's kicking around 35, put in some work, got to make some, this is what he wants. So if you want him, or one of them, masculine grounded men, you've got to play the game for what they value. Purity is important. If you've had all the experiences, if you've earned all the money, if you've had the careers, if you've been and traveled everywhere, if you've done everything, for his masculine that is not handed those things, who has had to earn those things on his own journey, his own vision, and his life path, if he can't give you any of that, that is of less interest to him. That is less valuable to him. Yes, it is an ego conversation. And again, equal, but not the same. You have to appreciate that that grounded masculine man that built himself up from the ground up brick by brick has had to go earn his experiences, has not had the pretty privilege, has not had the favor, has not had anything handed to him. And so purity and loyalty are high marking things because he wants to enjoy that. He doesn't want to have to reprogram. He doesn't want to have to be punished for what you've experienced before, bringing in trauma and baggage. He doesn't want to raise the seed of another man that is not him, not his legacy, not his genes, biologically, mentally, insecurities, ego, whatever you want to put it to. But the thing you got to ask yourself is, do you want a grounded masculine man? Now, there's a level of maturity. There's a level of understanding where, hey, people be lifing and lifing. And don't tell me you're going to be up in the 40s and 50s and expecting to have some fresh chickens off the coop. You know what I'm saying? So if he does not have the maturity to grasp you've had some life, you've lived some life, maybe he's not the man for you. Maybe he's not mature enough for you. And again, I'm telling you the things in your corner. I'm giving you the tools to be the architect of your future, that if you're going to be ready for that masculine man, because this is our modern culture today. Modernity has turned a few things upside down, and other cultures, this is the traditional, conventional ways of things that are still like this in some places. Women from the age of childhood are actually still being conditioned and taught to value manhood, to value men, to value masculinity, to condition and put themselves in place to have the best opportunity. Now, that may remove some options off the table. True. However, are you looking to have your experience, your independence, your journey more than you want to have a partner, companionship, family, and you want to qualify for the best and highest bang for your buck? You want to cash in your chips and get all the value exchanged at the market. So if you're wasting your chips, if you got a hole in your pocket and you're burning your time with boy toys and racking up numbers on the body count, it's just the truth of the matter, ladies. It devalues you to the market over there. If you don't care about it being a masculine man, if you don't care about qualifying for the best of the best, if you're cool to take whoever will take you and accept you, if you're cool to settle, cool. I just want you to have the information, be empowered to make the choices that work best for you. Steps, straightforward, and I promise you, this isn't anything that you need to do. It's all about the being. It's all about your divine feminine. And that is going to give you the access to sit back, take it easy, and align with your highest self, your highest vision for the partner, the grounded masculine man that you want. And without doing anything, I love that part. That's why I respect the feminist. You are going to open up and attract, to draw in, to have them do the work for you. I say it. If you follow this channel, you know, sit back in your director's chair and audition. Next, read the lines. All right, thank you. Don't call us. We'll call you. Next, there's a line around the corner. And when you tap into this power, you can just sit back. And when somebody shows up and reads those lines, and oh my God, feel that. The conviction, the easy on the eyes, and the heart, the character, the drive. You can just feel that masculine presence and energy. And oh, wait, you get to just relax. He got it. When he tells you these answers, when he tells you who he is, and when he shows up, when the actions line up, because that's masculinity. Who am I? Actions, words, lined up. It's the same. Green light. Cast the vote. Cash in your chips. It's time to take it home, ladies.